was an officer, till I couldn't do it no more, Neil said, his voice rough. He sat across from Kelsey, the air thick with the scent of stale beer and old newspapers. The rifle standing in the corner was a silent testament to the years he'd weathered here alone. When did you decide you'd had enough of the beat? Kelsey asked. Well, it got tough, Neil said, pulling out his cell phone and scrolling through photos. He held it out to her. Kelsey gasped and shut her eyes, but the image was already seared into her mind. A charred body in a bathtub. The green and white tiles around the clawfoot tub looked like the ones in her own bathroom. What is that? She whispered. Why would you show that to me? Sorry. Figured I'd get to the point. That was my last day, Neil said, his voice flat. Woman boiled to death. You can't see stuff like this without it getting to you. I mean, why would anyone do that to someone? Please put that away, Kelsey said, feeling her stomach do a flip. I thought those days were bad. When your house was standing empty, and the one between our houses was a drug house. It's only gotten stranger since then. The things I see at night aren't just memories. They look as alive as you or I am, just slightly out of phase or something. Sometimes I wonder if I'm out of phase, and that's why I can see this stuff, you know what I mean? The idea was so terrifying and so apt that Kelsey felt a chill run down her spine. This wasn't just a haunting. It was an invasion from some parallel reality. But why? I'm starting to think anything is possible, she said, standing. She needed to leave, to process this in the relative safety of her own haunted house. You really wouldn't believe what this street can be like, he said, wiping his face. But we'll look out for you. We're family here. Kelsey walked home in a daze, the horrific photo and Neil's words replaying in her mind. As she reached her own porch, she noticed something sitting on the top step that hadn't been there before. A small, old-fashioned snow globe. Curious, she picked it up. Inside, a tiny plastic baseball player was frozen mid-swing. As she watched, the baseball player flickered and changed. Its uniform melted away. The bat vanished. In its place stood a little girl with blonde pigtails, holding a bright blue bouncy ball. The glass of the globe suddenly shattered in her hand. Hey, that's mine! Kelsey yelped, dropping the broken pieces. A young girl stood before her on the porch, looking impossibly solid. She had blonde pigtails and was wearing a simple mid-century dress. It was Sally, the ghost from the backyard. You broke it, Sally said, pouting. The blue, bouncy ball from the globe was now in her hand, solid and real. I had that snow globe for 60 years, you nasty grown-up. I'm sorry, Kelsey stammered. It just changed, and then it broke. You have to be more careful, Sally said, bouncing the ball on the porch steps. Things are different here. You can't just grab stuff because you want it. She looked up at Kelsey, her blue eyes unnervingly direct. We live here too, dummy. We? Kelsey asked, her mind reeling. Me and Mama Marie and Jonathan and the others, Sally said matter-of-factly. She took a step closer, and to Kelsey's shock, pressed a hand against her arm. The touch was solid and cold as a tombstone. It made Sally's eyes light up with surprise as much as Kelsey's. I can touch you again, she declared. You know, you're okay for a living person, but you're so slow. Life is wasted on the living. I'm doing my best to make something of this life, Kelsey said. Well, try harder. We'll figure this out faster. I think I'm going to like living again, and I think I'm going to be better at it than you. With that, the girl's form began to fade, her edges blurring like a watercolor painting in the rain. Jonathan's in the basement if you need him, she said, her voice becoming a whisper. "He's been waiting to meet you for a mighty long time. Try not to break his stuff." Then she was gone. Kelsey was left standing on her porch, the broken shards of the snow globe at her feet, her arm tingling like frostbite where the ghost girl had touched her. She slumped against the wall, overwhelmed. She was seeing them, truly seeing them. And that, she knew, was just the beginning. Sally had to be on Glimmer, whatever it was. What would she or those monsters get up to if they became as solid as the living? She looked like she had ideas.